Talk to me about the PO Arsenal Leicester City.
I think that should be a good game. Leicester flirting relegation this season. What 18th on the table?
Yep.
Coming up against the Arsenal side that they think that they are in the title race, but look, I don't think they are in.
Title race is mad too. It's not about.
They are only 7 points away from Liverpool.
But I don't think Arsenal are in a title race.
Okay.
So who's in the title race?
It's just Liverpool.
Then it's not a race.
So
it's a procession.
No, 7 points is not enough to be in a list.
No, but there's no way.
7 points. 7 points is 2 defeats and 1 draw.
You see, there's a race, but there's a likely winner. It's
Yeah.
like when you say most was going to race. There was a race,
but
it was a likely.
So
winner.
it's just one person in the race, Liverpool.
What are you looking at for this game?
I just want to see how Arsenal respond. Already, there were talks about their goal efficiency this season. Kai Havertz has gone down again. Injury. I mean, he's not been prolific as we thought that he would be, and I've never seen Kai Havertz as somebody you can actually rely on in terms of.
We didn't think he'll be prolific. Only Arteta thought so.
Punches.
He's never been that prolific.
Fair.
But I don't think there are some of the Arsenal fans who actually agree with you. Some of them actually view him differently. What you are saying, yes.
Anybody who thought Kai Havertz was coming to give Arsenal 20 plus goals in a season.
It was daydreaming.
So now it throws Mikel Arteta in a different direction in terms of who he would want to rely on when it comes to the goals. This season, clearly the dependency regime was on Bukayo Saka.
Yep.
And then he went out. This is a game where Ruud van Nistelrooy has come into the Premier League. One manager who also doesn't know when to be pragmatic, likes to be very expansive. And against this Arsenal team, I think they are a bit hungry. They would want to give Liverpool a run for their money in terms of the title race, in as much as I think that they are not.
Because Liverpool have slipped up.
Yes, Liverpool have slipped up in some games. Now, it's an early kickoff, and we know how sometimes these games do pan out. The very things that you don't expect, those are what would happen. I expect Leicester City to actually give Arsenal a very good game. Because Leicester are
where good game ends like how?
Good game ends like you take a very good, because Leicester have shown in games that they actually take good leads, and then they don't know when to stop, allow the opponents to come into play. That's not the kind of player I'm expecting. I think that, look, Arsenal will come up chasing the game. Leicester would be trying to hit them on the break, and that is where they'll actually get their goal from. If they're able to get that in the first half or in the first 20 minutes, then again, I expect Ruud van Nistelrooy to switch and not keep on playing the same way he would play, to actually think that, look, we can match Arsenal both for both in terms of personnel or whatever, and then go and open up, and then they end up losing this game. So
okay, so who's winning this?
I think Leicester to win.
Hey, this guy, Charlie.
Leicester to win.
Which kind of prediction is this?
Leicester to
I
win.
want the camera to look at it.
This is a Malam prediction. Van Nistelrooy who's cooking goals and leaking every 3 goals per game.
I mean,
I think we got be on this one.
But
I think we got be on this one.
How?
You see, this is why I feel like sometimes people are haters.
Just 15 seconds.
It's not look like you are haters.
Look,
15 seconds. Just quick before I move it on.
How does Mikel Arteta shuffle the pack? Because Gabriel Martinelli is not available. Bukayo Saka is not available. Gabriel Jesus is not available. Kai Havertz is not available. So how do you shuffle the pack? That's where
Trossard, Sterling.
you see you're looking at you're looking at a situation where it's fit. You're looking at a situation where you're going to start Raheem Sterling, this version of Raheem Sterling, as a false 9. Are you really?
Maybe you play on the left.
Maybe Trossard plays as a false.
As a false 9. Then at the back. Then at the back. Clearly with Ricardo Calafiori coming back and Ben White also coming back, it's very likely Miles Lewis Kelly gets moved into the midfield area. Then where do you play Martin Odegaard? Where do you play Partey? Where do you play Declan Rice? That means you basically have to change the whole formation.
Leicester are still a bad team.
I know. They're still a bad team.
They're overrating how much he needs to change.
But all these.
So you think that an upset is on the cards?
An upset is on the cards.
I'll come to you. I'll come to you for another game.
I feel like we are overrating Leicester a lot. We've seen them; they are very poor. And I think that even with Arsenal, look, if Arsenal brought the under 18 strikers come and play this game, they'll win this game.
I'm serious.
Yeah, because
Leicester are really bad. I don't know if you watch it. They are really bad.
It's like if it was maybe Ipswich, who we've seen a bit more interesting and like they have some fight in them. Leicester are bad. They are not compact. They don't attack well. Like I can't think of anything Leicester
do
does
properly.
well.
I agree 100% with Susu. If they'll have to score 3+ goals
to win the
They
game.
just they
It
don't
won't
do
happen.
anything. They don't do anything.
Let me
well.
stay. Let me.
All it is. I understand the logic.
Yeah.
But you'd have to have a competent team. If it was maybe Everton,
Yeah.
West Ham, one of those teams that are still down there but a bit higher up, who you can see some competencies in their team.
Yeah.
I agree with your analysis. But Leicester and Southampton are probably the 2 worst teams in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So if whatever the situation, any team they are playing, I expect them to lose.
Jordan Leon is looking like Gabby now. Jordan.
Same haircut.
Charlie,
Anyway, talk to me about Newcastle, Manchester City. Man City are home to Newcastle.
Yeah, that's a bad matchup for Manchester City. Because look at the midfield that Newcastle prefers. Joe Linton,
Guimaraes and
Guimaraes. Let's say Joe Linton has been injured, so maybe Willock comes in. These guys, they run hard, they are powerful. And what have we said about Man City the whole season? Their midfield, they look like they are running in mud. Bernardo Silva, Gundogan, Kovacic. Like when they are running, you can see that they are old. You can see you can see their age when they are running. So when they meet that midfield, they'll be overpowered. Look at even the Real Madrid game.
Yeah.
Ceballos and Camavinga, just those two were able to handle whoever they put in there. Look, I'm very concerned for Man City. This is the worst matchup they could have in terms of teams. I think the teams that will give them the most trouble where they are, Bournemouth and Newcastle, because those teams run.
Yeah.
Those teams put in their yard.
And
the Man City cannot keep up. And the centre backs, to their lack of confidence and the form Isak is in, I don't know if they can handle him. Right now,
They are back to back on the table. So City are 5th,
Yes.
Newcastle are 6th. They all have 41 points.
And then when you look on the right back, let's say Rico Lewis has to play. Akanji, he got injured. Let's say Akanji.
For 10 weeks.
They are dead. They are dead. Because Rico Lewis and Anthony Gordon. Anthony Gordon is going to kill him. So I'm when I look at this Newcastle team, and it's not like their defense is that bad to that Haaland will get a lot of chances. They are a very solid team.
Yeah.
So honestly, I'm even surprised that this team, Man City are still favorites for this. When you look around, you read around, I'm surprised people still have Man City as favorites because stylistically, I think this is going to be one of the most difficult games. They might prove me wrong, but I expect them to be beaten. I expect them to be beaten very heavily, actually.
Oh.
I mean, 2 things. Just to add to that, it depends on. You see, if Newcastle will go into the game and then make Man City work, when they have the ball, they win it. They win it. But we saw the Newcastle against Bournemouth, where we said yes, because Bournemouth could match them for pace and power. Bournemouth didn't naturally outrun them, but Bournemouth were able to use the ball very well, unlike Newcastle.
Yeah.
Man City are practically aware that in order for them to get any, they need to take hold of the ball.
True.
So that they don't get Newcastle to run them off the pitch. So it is now up to Newcastle that when we get it, we need to show our quality. Tonali, Guimaraes, Isak and those guys. If they can get Man City to be a bit more concerned defensively, then I expect them to go and beat Man City hands down.
Let me stay with you for Spurs Man United.
The game of 2
inconsistent teams.
See,
Who's this? Newcastle.
For me,
what game is this?
Spurs United.
For me, I think it's a game Man United should win, and I believe they will win.
Amorim, my picky.
Amorim, I listened to him today. He said this week has been his best week because he's had the time to train with the boys.
Yeah, 90s.
He still do believe that once he gets his message across to them and they go over whatever they have to do repeatedly, they will understand and they will play.
Yeah.
He has some key decisions to make. Tomorrow or on Sunday, I don't want to see Diago Dalot playing as a left wing back. No. Dogu has to play there. If Dalot is going to play, he plays as a right wing back.
Yeah.
And then Ahmad, and then Garnacho in the number 10.
Garnacho should be on the bench, honestly.
Or you can say, no, but he's proven to be your best player.
How is Man United? How is he Man United's best player?
Man United creates the most chance.
Let's not argue about this.
It
is opinion. You hold your opinion on who the best player is.
Anytime Garnacho is on the pitch.
Thank you very much. He's the best player. Yamoussoukro Messi's fire is gone.
You mean he's the best player?
Garnacho is the best player.
What I'm
please.
saying is that He can start on the bench. No two ways about that. Tactically, that could be. But he's proven that whenever he's on the pitch, he does something very different from everybody. And that is the sort of player this system is yearning for. It's taking him some time to adjust to the system of the team. You don't blame him. He's a young lad, 20-year-old, adapting to something he's never been involved in. So you take him time. But he's shown that he's the most determined player. He takes on the opponent the more. If it's not in the team, Man United is flat. Pass the ball left, right, backwards. Maguire, Ibase, can he be Anyadofui, can he be Wofenwona, clear. You understand? So now when you come to what they should be doing, the problem is that the decision on Bruno and Kobe Menu will have to be made clear. Kobe Menu, after doing so well in Europe, in that number 10 role, the next time he was asked to play there in the Premier League, he just couldn't live it. I think that against Spurs, he and Bruno should switch positions.
Okay.
And then he must, you see, Amorim will have to demarcate. He's not good on the recovery. So as a number 8 alongside Ugarte, all he needs to do is to cut an area for him. Look, beyond this area, don't go. Give the ball to Bruno, and if you have to go, then make sure that things are very well sorted. On the part of Spurs, that back line is terrible. Their greatest weapon is their front duels. Richarlison is back. He's shown some good signs, but highly inconsistent. If United really do want to win the game, Kulusevski is a player they should be able to pay attention to. If they can pay attention to that and match the intensity of this Spurs team, I expect them. Look, the head coach of Spurs, he's under terrible pressure. I think that if he doesn't get a result on Sunday, the next game is most likely going to be his last game.
Let's do predictions before we wrap this up. I need to do one more interview. Let's do Aston Villa Ipswich prediction. Just
Aston
prediction.
Villa straight win.
Fulham Nottingham Forest.
I think a draw.
Draw. Coach.
Fulham are I just want to point out Fulham are very good and they know how to adapt to the team they are playing.
And at home, they've looked solid.
Yeah, so I like Forest a lot, but this is a game that it will be tricky for them.
West Ham Brentford, coach.
West Ham at home?
Yes.
Yeah.
Under their new coach?
Portable.
I think West Ham.
West Ham to win.
Because Brentford are bad travellers.
Okay, let me read a few messages.
You know, I want to say something about their bad. I think it was their home games at the beginning of the season that were easy.
Yeah.
Because now that they've been playing some big games at home,
they are losing.
I think it's just that the teams they play. So what are they playing this weekend?
West Ham away.
Oh, that's a team around their level, so you never know. I think.
Okay.